everybody. Welcome to the Creepy Cascadia podcast. As always, I am Sammy, one of your hosts, and I am joined by my delectable snack slash co-host slash husband, Adam. How you doing today, love?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like how I called you a snack?
Yeah. Delectable, I think, was what got me off guard.
I mean, it's true, though.
Yeah.
Baby, you a snack. That's what all the kids say these
Yeah.
days.
Do you have a running tally of all the, it's not adverb, adjectives that you use to
No,
call
but I'll
them?
tell you what. It's getting harder and harder to find creative ones and not repeat. I'm pretty sure I've already repeated, but... I mean, I get to look at your handsome face while we record, so of course I'm going to throw in a little compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never called me your bearded bevy.
Ooh, I'm going to have to cut that and use it for next week.
Oh, okay.
My bearded babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another weekend down. Another Monday over.
I was going to say, well, we made it through our first week back after vacation, our first full week.
Yeah.
I feel like it flew by, but it also dragged at the same time.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Jet lag is real, and she is a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, it really flew by for me. It felt like we had just had no time.
Yeah.
In, out, in, out, in, out. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Work, sleep. Work, sleep, eat, pool.
Work.
Work, pool, eat, sleep. Work, pool, eat, sleep.
Oh, for when we were on vacation.
Yeah, you said we're back from vacation.
Yeah, I was meaning like the week flew by that we've been back.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
For me, I feel like it did, but it also kind of dragged a little.
Yeah.
Because it was like a long week too, so.
Apparently, like my Wednesday, I got confused the day that like a meeting I had on last Wednesday I thought was on Friday.
Oh.
Like that's how much like Thursday and Friday flew by for me.
Yeah.
So like I didn't even register them. Like I was like, boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we made it through another Monday. We're
Yeah.
getting close to the end of the month. It's going to be May before we know it.
Yeah.
Got some fun things coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
I got a tattoo appointment for my next piece for my sleeve. And then you have a comic book expo that you're really looking forward to that should be fun on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collectible expo.
Yeah.
Should I get another little art drawing thing?
Ooh, maybe. That was really cute, the one that you got last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last one? Was it March?
No, it was like October. It was like fall time frame. About 6 months-ish ago.
It was November because it was when the girls came up. Yeah. I remember you came into Buffalo Wild Wings and showed us the drawing that you got.
Yep.
Yep. I think you should. I love that. I mean, if that same girl's there, you could probably get another one. It was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of is like inspired my first piece on my sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need like cute pictures or something. So like I'd have to like email her or something probably.
Of me. Or the cats.
Whatever you want drawn.
Cute picture of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sit for a caricature.
I always want to, but I feel like you're never like in the mood when we've passed them a couple times.
What, at Comic-Con?
Maybe. Probably.
What if we pass the caricature place?
I'm
sorry.
I'm going to say most likely Comic-Con.
Comic-Con does have the artist people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of tattoos, you were excited to the tattoo place, the Emerald City Comic-Con. Had like you could get a tattoo at the con.
I almost did, except for I had my appointment coming up because Comic-Con wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And I had this appointment coming up, and I'm like, I don't need another tattoo. I don't need another tattoo. I don't need another tattoo. Although I did spend quite a while looking at the books that people had. Those little cute ghost ones, I really would have thought would have been cute to get.
Yeah.
The one with like the butt showing.
Yeah. I never tell myself at Comic-Con, I don't need another comic book. I don't need another comic book. I don't need another comic book.
To be fair, the price of a comic book.
Any given comic book?
Any given comic, your run-of-the-mill comic book.
Yeah.
Book.
Comic book.
The average price of a comic book, not a high-value one that you're looking at, is a lot less than a tattoo.
Yeah.
But I will have a tattoo forever. You're probably going to have your comic books forever, too, though.
Yeah. I could resell my comic books as well.
I mean, technically, after I died, there is a,
Oh, what weird rabbit hole is this going down, guys?
well, I'm going to tell you. So there is a place that I have heard of. I think it's a website, because everything's a website now, where you can have, like, the mortician cut off your tattoo, and they'll, like, make it into, like a Leatherface-esque print.
Like a framed picture almost?
Yeah, but it's your skin. It's your tattoo.
I think I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah. You want it after I die?
That's like a keepsake for, like...
Just chop off the whole fucking arm.
Weird keepsake.
After I die. You know, do you remember we were having this conversation about...
How do I keep the arm fresh? Do I put it in water?
Please don't tell me you're going to do something dirty with my arm after I die.
No, I'm saying, like...
It's not a flower.
I don't want to cut just the skin off and frame that. You're talking about cutting off the whole arm. I'm like...
You can preserve it like formaldehyde.
Yeah, it's like...
I can have a little fist going, so it's just ready to go.
Well, you're the one taking it to the dirty place.
Fair.
The mental image of me jerking it with your dismembered arm.
That is the ultimate Dutch rudder. So, before I tell you about today's case, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Have you ever stayed at a hotel that is rumored to be haunted, or... have you ever stayed somewhere that you had a weird feeling or felt uneasy at?
I don't think I've stayed in a place deliberately haunted.
Yeah.
Or I haven't deliberately stayed at a place that was haunted
just wait till your birthday. No, just kidding.
I've been in hotels that don't have 13th floors.
Okay, yeah.
Like weirdly go from 12 to 14. Yeah, so I've stayed at hotels that got in the elevator and it jumped from the 12th to the 14th floor.
Okay.
And we were like...
superstition, man.
Yeah. Except there's not an air gap in the hotel.
No, so technically it is the 13th
technically,
floor.
like, no matter what you number it, that 14th floor is still just the 13th floor. Like,
yeah.
There's no getting around it. You can't shortcut superstition or supernatural. Right.
You know that when we stayed in Hawaii, when I would walk down to the ice machine, I always passed room 666, and it made me nervous.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's also the room that had a phone number tucked in the little number plate on the wall. I'm like, ooh, somebody trying to get freaky with the devil.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Satan.
Let's light this candle.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So you've never really stayed anywhere that you thought was haunted or had like a weird, just like the vibes were off?
I mean, I've been in places where I was like uneasy, like had trouble falling asleep.
Okay.
You know? Trying to think. I've stayed at a hotel or two that I'm like, people get murdered at this place. Like,
where you're like, I guarantee there's a dead body has been in this room.
we used to stay. So when we would tour the Midwest for Magic tournaments, me, Seth, Tommy, Nagel, Bucky went with. I don't think Bucky stayed with us the one time. Josh, oh man, it was like. But we would literally like I would find the cheapest hotel option. So we're talking roadway inns. We're talking like motel. I feel like Motel 6 is even like a step up from like the places
Motel 2.5.
Yeah, more like Motel 2.5. Like what's the so many creepy movies like started like just motels,
like the ones that have like the or they're not like by a building. It's like outdoor doors.
It's outdoor doors, yeah. So
yep.
so I have always recognized a hotel. The doors face inward, and you go into a hallway, and they have windows and everything. But like your door to your room is on the inside. Motels,
like the Rosebud Motel.
Like the Rosebud Motel in Schitt's Creek, yes. The doors are on the outside. Fair. That is a motel. That is how I've always delineated. Whether the industry respects my categorization, I don't know. they may have misnamed some places from time to time. But
Yeah.
I don't know, we'd always try to get like a hotel.
Yeah.
But man, there'd be some real. There was one, I'm trying to remember if it was like Lincoln or Fargo. Like,
Fargo.
we like. People were like having arguments. Like, the cops were called. It wasn't us who called the cops. But like, it was like people on the bed and I was like on the floor.
Ugh.
And there was a big enough crack under the door that like I could hear everything going on in the hallway.
You probably caught so many things from laying on that floor.
Yeah.
Blech.
Probably. I mean, the beds weren't much better.
Fair. Maybe the ground might have been safer. All that was on the ground was shoes.
Yeah.
No seminal fluids.
Yeah, we had a lot of
fluids.
yeah, there was a lot of two dudes sharing a bed, you know.
It's a real hot dog carton here.
You figure out one sleeps under the sheets, one sleeps over the sheets, you know.
Oh,
You
so
both
funny.
get the you know.
Then you have girls that share rooms and it's all like, I'm a cuddly sleeper. I'm sorry if I cuddle you in the middle of the night.
Right. Right.
Everybody's just cuddled up under one blanket.
Yeah, it's the problem because y'all don't got dicks, okay? Like Seinfeld covered this. Like no matter in what orientation you sleep,
You gonna get Nightwood?
yeah, like whoever you're sleeping with, if you're sleeping with someone with a dick, whether you put your front to them, you put your back to them, you sleep head to toe, shit's lined up with something,
Oh my god. Okay.
right?
I've not seen this, but okay. Nobody wants a dick to touch them that they're not specifically requesting it touch them.
Right, exactly. That's what I was
That's
just
fair.
about to say. I'm like, just because gay guys might like dick doesn't mean they want untoward dicks touching them.
I mean, and I like a dick too,
Like-
but there's a time and a place.
yeah.
You know, if we're in public and you're in a pool or something and you're touching me, actually, I like that too.
It's under the water, no one can see.
That's right. And then we
It's
just have to
called
wait a little
reflection
while.
or refraction.
Ah,
Either makes the boner look bigger or smaller, one of the two. It's probably smaller.
you're like, it makes it look bigger.
You ever seen a fish under the water?
They look huge.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. They look massive. You go to grab them, and they're always smaller than you think they are.
Who's a hoe now?
Not a hoe, just a fish grabber.
Well,
So back to the question. Yeah, so I've stayed in some places. I'm like, we could be murdered in this place.
Yep.
People have definitely been murdered in this place.
yep. Well, so my friends and I all love. Most of my friends and I
You like going to
enjoy
haunted
spooky places. Yeah. So a few years ago, like literally the weekend before I met you, I remember it was the weekend before Halloween.
Yeah.
I went to a place here in Washington called Port Townsend.
Yep. Port Townsend.
And there are several haunted hotels in that area, but we stayed at Manresa Castle, which is a really cool place. Regardless, I mean, it's like an old school Victorian castle looking place, like really cool. So my friends and I at like midnight were like, we're gonna go walk around. We're gonna go up to the floor above us, which is supposedly has a haunted room, and we're gonna see if we can like feel anything or hear anything or whatever.
Yep.
So we're up there, and me and my friend Mindy, who are like, we walk into like this doorway because it's like long, not hallways into each door, but they're big. Like there was two of us standing in there, and there was still room behind me, right?
Okay.
So we're like trying to listen to see if we can hear anything.
In the haunted room.
Yes, we're not in the room. We're standing outside.
Yeah,
of it.
it's like an outer little
chamber area, entryway area, and
portcullis. No, what do they call those?
foyer. Not a foyer because that's in your front of your house. Regardless, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we're standing in front of this room, and all of a sudden we hear the door start to creak open. And when I tell you my feet and her feet fucking moved like Scooby-Doo, and she tried to push me out of the way, and I like pushed her back behind me and took off. And I don't fucking run because I'm I'm fat. Like, I don't
You're
know.
not fat.
No, I am.
Oh.
I am not small, and I don't fucking run. But let me tell you, I fucking ran. And she like is trying to pull me, and I just basically like face planted, like took my hand and just like pushed her back. Like, nope.
It's called the stiff arm.
Sorry, you're dying first.
They're getting one of us, and it ain't me.
That's right. And a fucking kid walks out of this room, and he's like, "Hey, are you guys looking for some ghosts?" Shit you not. We were like standing there. My heart was racing. Like, me and Mindy were fucking dying because she was the one that tried to push me out of the way, and I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm bigger than you." And I was like, "Fuck you, kid! Like, don't scare the shit out of us." Because it's an old. I mean, it like, and it was
Yeah.
like slow motion.
Yeah.
Like, scared the shit out of me and Mindy.
I thought he was like hiding on some stairs or something. I thought
No, he had
he
like
told this story, and I thought he was like behind some stairs or down some stairs.
no. So then he actually, this kid came with us. So he's like, "I have an EMF detector, which is a ghost hunting tool," and we're like, "All right." So we're like. Looking back, it was like this like 12-year-old. I'm like, this is probably not good. Like a bunch of older women walking around with like an unsupervised 12-year-old that's not our child.
You're looking for ghosts? I got some in my pants.
Yeah.
I'm working on a poltergeist. See previous episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, so we walked around with this kid, and he said he had been like under the stairwells to like try to get readings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
We did like a cleansing, like we brought sage so we could like cleanse before we left, so no ghosts followed us back, you know.
Yeah.
And did like a prayer before we went in to like keep us protected. Yeah. That was really fun. We should do that to another haunted hotel. Maybe I'll make the girls go with me here.
Yeah.
Because today...
We've talked about maybe going to some haunted places. Like, we'd love to go to New Orleans or something.
Oh, yeah. Do all the swamp tours. Your brother and sister-in-law and the kids just went.
You don't want to go to no voodoo cemeteries or nothing?
I want to go. I just don't want to, like... I want to be very respectful because I don't want to bring anything back.
Okay.
Like Marie Laveau.
Yeah.
Don't piss her off. So, no surprise, but I asked because we're actually talking about a hotel that is rumored to be haunted.
Okay.
And this was actually a suggestion. Rumored to be haunted. And this was actually a suggestion from a friend who grew up near this place, so shout out to Megan. Today we're going to be talking about the Hot Lake Hotel, also called the Lodge at Hot Lake Springs. But before we talk about the hauntings, let's talk about the hotel itself. Because, you know, history and
sounds like Heartbreak Hotel. Hot Lake Hotel.
Oh, it does. I never even put that together.
Hot Lake Hotel.
I keep thinking, we at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Yeah. So, located in Union City, Oregon, the original building itself was built in 1864. So, this is an old place.
When was the Civil War?
I don't know.
Made on the bones of the dead.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. And almost every article I read commented that for whatever reason, the original hotel was built facing the bluff that it sat on, as opposed to facing the lake. Like, every article was like, for whatever reason, they had it facing a bluff instead of having it facing the lake, which would make more sense as, like, scenic, right? Yeah.
You're going to have to put a picture of...
I will.
If you can find a picture of it facing... what is it looking at?
Yeah, I don't really know, but everybody talks about how that it was so weird that they had it facing the bluff instead of, like... Everyone knows you'd much rather prefer a water view, right?
They wanted to be like, we got a lake out back.
Yeah. Y'all want to go out back? I mean, no. To be fair, this lake is, like, 186 degrees. It's, like, nearing 200. It's like a hot spring, so it's nearing,
hot spring.
200 degrees. So maybe they did that as a way to, like... not entice people to like get drunk and go jump in the lake in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people probably go into the hot spring nude.
Fry their wiener off. Yeah. Just like human soup all over the fucking place.
We're making poltergeists!
That's not how poltergeists start. You know that.
You have to dial down the volume because I am full on yelling that like at my mic.
Yeah.
We're making poltergeists. Human soup.
Human soup.
It's good soup.
Lots of
Isn't that like a famous clip? Good soup.
yeah, that was a TikTok thing for
It's like
a while.
Adam Driver
Adam
right there.
Driver, yeah. Good soup.
Good soup.
So this original structure had lots of businesses. It had a post office, a barber shop, a bathhouse, etc. Now the original hotel, as it was actually torn down in 1903, and construction began on a new hotel in 1906. The new structure was a brick building that was completed in 1908.
Did this one face the water?
I believe it did, because nobody talked about it
Okay.
being that.
Okay.
So the area itself has hot springs, like I said, and sits near Hot Lake, which was originally called Ikeshpa by the native Nez Perce tribe. The tribe used the hot springs for their healing powers, and the area was also a good stopping place for travelers along the Oregon Trail. So, lots of people were stopping in on this area.
You died of hot springs.
I literally was like, where did that game go? Because remember I bought, the board game, the Oregon Trail board game?
Yeah. You get to Oregon.
Yeah, but we still have the game.
Yeah, but the game doesn't say where you end up, if that's what you meant.
No, I'm saying where is that actual game at? It's probably downstairs with all of our
does
other
the game
ones.
exist? Yeah.
Remember, I bought the game.
Yes.
Yes.
You're talking about the physical location of the game, not where does the game end, where does the Oregon Trail end.
Oregon Trail ends in Oregon.
Well, yeah, Oregon's big, though. I thought you were
right.
trying to ask for the specific...
No, I'm
It ends at Hot Lake!
I'm specifically asking where the physical
Hot Lake
game
runs
is.
through... Or Hot Lake was on the Oregon Trail.
People
so
would stop there along the way, yes.
Yeah.
So the Union Railroad expanded during this time as well, which created a direct route to the hotel. The ease of getting to this hotel, along with the healing powers, natural hot tubs, all around the hotel, made it a hot spot for travelers. Literally.
Yeah. It's quite warm. What's a normal hot tub set to?
Like 105 at the highest, I want to say. Yeah. Hot tubs?
Our bodies are like 90-some degrees.
Hot tubs are set at like 105.
Oh.
Trust me, I've been looking at hotels with hot tubs. It's like 105.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. I've grown my trust in you.
Oh my God.
I can't even say you made it such a joke when I said it.
So...
Was I trying to be sincere or was I trying to be a jokey one?
I think you were trying to sincere and joke.
Spin it. I was trying to spin it.
As opposed to... So Adam came up with this thing. Side note.
Which is now turning into a side note.
Side note. Adam came up with this thing. Instead of saying, I told you so, because, some people like to make it known when they're right, and they told you that they were right, and you didn't listen to them, they want to tell you without telling you, I told you so. So Adam came up with, this is Adam that likes to say, I told you so. Adam came up with, I hope this builds your trust in my skills or my thought process or whatever.
Yeah, hope it builds your faith in me.
I hope it builds your faith in me. Well, lately, the only person who's been getting to say, I hope this builds your faith in me is me. And I can't help but laugh every time I fucking say it because it's just so ridiculous. And Adam's like, stop laughing! But it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because I can't even say it without laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So marriage tip, if you want to...
This may be fine. It's better than saying I told you so by far.
If you want to let them know that you were right and they should have listened to you, I hope this builds your faith in me. And also, if you want to get around saying somebody's hot, like a celebrity, you can say, oh, they're a really good actor or they're a really good singer. That's our other one that we used and we told our friends about and they died laughing.
Yeah. You comment on their talent.
Yeah, so talented.
So talented. See, it's just a spin on that because a lot of people have already done that, been like, oh my God, she's so talented.
Yeah.
And they're talking about her body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the story. So this place was actually referred to as the Mayo Clinic of the West and was I'll tell you why. It'll come through. The
Human
hotel.
soup.
There's a lot of sausage in that soup. The hotel also touts being the first commercial building in the world to have their main heat source come from geothermal energy. So they
Okay, that makes
utilized,
sense, yeah.
they utilized the energy from the hot springs. And apparently this actually saved, I don't have this written down, but it's interesting. So the hotel, it saved them like $15,000 a year, reportedly.
Oh, I can believe it, yeah.
And they were bringing in like somewhere close to like $180,000 a year in its heyday. So that's like, that's a big chunk.
Pipe that hot springs, hot water heaters, power
Yeah.
electricity, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with it.
Yeah. This place was also innovative. It had 150 guest rooms, a surgical ward, a lab, soaking tubs that took advantage of the hot springs, reception areas, commissary, pretty much all the amenities you think of when you think of a bougie hotel back in the day.
So you said Mayo Clinic. It wasn't like the hippy dippy, like they had actual medical facilities at this place?
They did have a surgical ward and a hospital ward, which we're going to
Okay.
talk about.
Okay. See, I just thought you were saying, like, oh, people go to hot springs and it's like magic cure-all and, what do they call, what are people who, like,
Traveling salesman.
do, like, herbal remedies?
Natural,
It's not holistic, it's,
naturopath.
yeah.
Yeah. So, in 1917, the hotel was sold to a man named W.T. Fye, who was a doctor. And he changed the hotel's name to Hot Lake Sanatorium.
Well, that name isn't very good.
I know. It's like, really? He advertised the place as not only a resort, but a hospital, a place of like, well-being, kind of like a wellness spa.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Okay.
But it was already set up as a hospital, and it had a 60-bed ward, so transitioning to a sanatorium wasn't a huge deal, right? But
Okay.
I think they still had people coming in to like stay, not just hospital folk.
Okay.
The hotel had some famous guests, most notably Wild Bill Hickok.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he was on the Oregon Trail. So
Who else was famous? Just who? Any other?
that's the most notable one.
Okay.
There were mentions that Robert E. Lee's wife was there, but I actually think that it was something she owned, which I will tell you about.
Okay.
That was there.
Okay.
So the hotel was hustling and bustling with all the amenities, so business was booming. However, the tide started to turn in the 1930s. In 1931, Dr. Fye actually died from pneumonia. So
Not a good doctor.
there's rumors he might not have been the best guy. And then a massive fire destroyed most of the west wing of the hotel on May 7th, 1934.
Is that the sanitarium side of the hotel?
So
side?
they had like they had a wood wing, and then they had the brick building that they had built up. The wood wing basically burned up.
Okay.
I'm not sure where the sanatorium was located in that.
Okay.
After the fire, the popularity of the hotel started to decline, and eventually only the hospital was the remaining business operating on the grounds.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I should have just ran ahead.
It's okay.
So between 1941 and 1991, the property changed hands several times and operated as a nursing home, a restaurant and a nightclub, and a bathhouse. The hotel was added to the National Registry of Historic Places on March 15, 1979, but by 1991, the property was abandoned and pretty decrepit. It sat vacant for almost 15 years, and after multiple failed enterprises. So people would buy the property, try to turn it into something, and it could never get off the ground for very long, it sounds like. In 2003, the hotel was purchased by David Manuel, who had dreams of restoring the property to her former glory. He began working to fix and update the now dilapidated property. However, a wing collapsed in 2008, so it added to all the work that needed to be done. So the Manuel family owned it to 2019 or 2020. I saw it both So somewhere between 2019 and 2020, it was
Yeah.
sold to the current owners who are now once again working to renovate the property.
Okay.
And it is operating as a bed and breakfast. I think it's like 22 rooms right now.
Okay.
So you can go stay there. So now that we have the backstory for the hotel, let's chat about the rumored hauntings.
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
We're here for the creeps.
We're here for the creeps. We're not here for the vacation spots.
I mean, if you want a creepy vacation spot, you might be here.
Yeah.
So hotels have so much energy passing through them on a daily basis, right? Like we've talked about that before, and the area being surrounded by natural hot springs can also attribute to energy that the area holds on to. The rumors of paranormal activity actually began in the 1970s and have lasted to this day. So one of the purported spirits who roams the hotel grounds is a former caretaker or gardener who took his own life on the property, sadly. So I watched there's a TV show called Scariest Places on Earth, which I thought of you when I was watching it because it's hosted by Linda Blair, and it also is like narrated by the psychic from Poltergeist
Okay.
that has the
Yeah.
voice that you're like, that's a
Yeah.
creepy voice.
Yep.
She narrates it.
Okay.
So, one of the folks interviewed on that show, they actually went and visited this place, and they said that this particular suicide was strange because the man had stabbed himself with a screwdriver in the head and then slashed his own throat. Now, I wasn't able to find this particular recounting anywhere else besides the show. Now, I did see that several sites have reported that there is a ghost that took their own life on the property and worked for the hotel as like a caretaker or gardener. But the manner of death, that was the only place I could find that.
Okay.
And I actually wasn't able to find any like death records. I did try to look for some, but I didn't find any for the hotel.
It's bad that all I can think of is like Groundskeeper Willie from Simpsons. Yeah. Anytime you say groundskeeper
Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie
I
from The
hear ya.
Simpsons, number one.
So, all that to say, the show didn't quote their source where that
Yeah.
gentleman,
Yeah.
I don't even really know who that guy was or how he was affiliated, but they
Yeah.
interviewed him. So,
How do
take
you
that.
slash your throat and stab yourself with a screwdriver?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
I really am taking this
Either
one
one
with
of
a
the-
huge grain of salt.
Either one of those things I think would be enough to kill you.
I will tell you
So
that
why did you have to do both, and in what order?
I will tell you that the show had a bit of a
Problem with credibility?
no, I mean it had a it was very much trying to be like sensationalist.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
Okay.
So it could be that's just something like, oh, my dad told me that when I was a kid and you pass it on as fact. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never if you don't have a source for something like a viable source or a reliable source, you should always question it.
Yeah.
Others, including former owners, have claimed to hear screams, cries, phantom footsteps, and unexplained bumps in the night. Some folks believe that the spirits are those of past visitors of the hotel who either never left or came back after their passing. There is also a rumor that a piano that once lived on the property was owned by Robert E. Lee's wife, and there are reports that phantom piano music can be heard throughout the hotel. Although, again, I wasn't able to confirm whether or not the piano was there or if it was, how long it was. Now, a big theme I saw in my research included the hospital and its former owner. Dr. Phi was rumored to have done some experimental procedures on perhaps unwilling patients. The hospital reportedly used the geothermal water in treatments and was researching how water could cure various ailments. A good chunk of the unexplained screams and cries are reported to originate from the former hospital area of the hotel, which, if we know anything about the advance of medicine, it was ugly.
Yeah.
And if this doctor was striving to become a revolutionary medical facility practitioner, it wouldn't surprise me if there were some questionable practices in play.
Yeah.
Dr. Phi also had a certain reputation of trying to socialize with his female patients outside of the doctor-patient relationship. And
Of course he was.
and many articles I read described him as arrogant, having a god complex, and just kind of being a dick.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that he refused to acknowledge or socialize with his peers, like the staff at the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was even one rumor of him having like a window that he would require them to put his food in so he didn't have to talk to anybody except for the hot female patients, apparently.
Yeah.
Or just the female patients.
We're in our naked hot tub time. Like,
Ah.
we must free ourselves of clothes. Yeah.
Another rumor is that somebody actually, I saw it. I saw it was a child or a female, and I wasn't able to find it again in my research. I think it was on a video that I watched. But that somebody had actually fallen into the lake and scalded and died, like been scalded and died due to the high temps. Again, I wasn't able to verify this, but not out of the realm of possibilities that someone fell and perished in the hot springs at one point or another, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, how do you have the pools? Do they just like pipe in? They'll pipe the water over, so
I'm sure they have a way to
not
like
up to
regulate
that
it.
high,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would assume so. When I was researching this, all I could think of was like Dante's Peak. You know, where the water gets super hot because of the volcano eruption and the grandma like gets in the water and she burns up.
Yeah.
I kept thinking of that.
Well, when you talk about human soup and hot stuff,
Good soup.
Yellowstone,
Oh.
those pools.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the heat. I don't think it's like bacteria and stuff in there that like eat it,
That'll
or
kill
it's
ya.
it's acidic. Yeah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It might be acidic too. It might be like, but the ones where they're like stay on the trails, because yeah, like people die if you like step in a pool. Like people are like, I'm gonna jump in that pool, and it's like, no, you're dead. Like now you're dead.
And you're dead.
Yeah.
You're now human soup.
Yeah.
So that's really all I was able to find. Every single website I went to talked about this place is super haunted, but I had a really hard time finding any like specific examples of why. Like, you know, they say they hear screams, they hear unexplained footsteps,
Yeah.
rocking chairs rocking on their own.
It's just some like creepy sounds that someone could like pipe through.
So I want to give my 2 cents, okay?
Okay.
As I said in the beginning, geothermal waters, along with a massive amount of people who frequent in the grounds, can definitely create an environment that is ripe for haunting, right? While there are multiple reports of unexplained sounds, I think the energy alone that the land has probably held on to is more than enough to create like a residual haunting. I also, so in researching the timelines,
Okay.
in the 70s, the hotel was tried to turn it was bought by somebody that tried to turn it into a restaurant / nightclub
Right. Yeah, that one stood out.
that didn't really take. I think it was
Okay.
like open less than 2 years.
Yeah.
If you want to drum up business for a place, you could possibly say that it was haunted and as a way to like make people want to come there and check it out for themselves. I'm not saying that's what's happened. I'm just saying like the timeline to me, the fact that it's really hard to like I didn't see anybody like go in like any investigations of people that went in and investigated the place. And a lot of the articles seem to recycle the same information,
Yeah.
which is what I've given to you guys today.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence on this one. Hotels themselves, because you have so many people like in different frames of mind, mental states, all that coming through, the property could hold on to that energy in my mind.
Okay.
But I think that maybe if something did happen or had been happening, I feel like maybe it got played up a lot to try to drum up business
Okay.
in my mind. So that's my 2 cents. So, Adam, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't haunted.
True.
Like, oh, there's a sweet hot springs place that just like people can't seem to make it work. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like we'd be like, yeah, is that really where we want to go on vacation? Like,
I mean, I'm not
place
gonna
that's
lie.
constantly being fixed up.
I kind of want to go stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's maybe there's issues with like construction, if it's like hot, humid, like how I think about hot spring is.
So one of the
You know.
articles I saw did say like the weather played like the elements affected the Manuel family.
Yeah.
That like the one wing collapsed when they were working on it. So I think you're spot on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Dr. Phi?
Phi.
Fry?
It's Phi. It's like Phy.
Phi, Phi, Fo, Fum.
I think it's Phi. That's how I pronounce it. It's Phy. Dr. Phy.
Phy.
Yeah.
Okay. So that dude don't sound legit.
No.
Right.
Which most snake oil salesman. That's what I was trying to think. Not a traveling salesman. A snake.
Oh
oil
yeah, no,
salesman.
that's traveling salesman.
Yeah.
Snake oil salesman. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Selling tonic water.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you get so much crazy things, right? Like people would put radium in water, like they'd put like radioactive rocks in water, and, and talk about the healing properties, and it's like, okay, you're like literally dosing yourself, like.
There was a doctor in quotation marks. I want to say he was out of like Colorado. I've heard other people talk about him on podcasts. Like he was like the quintessential snake oil salesman, like had his medical license taken away, had this like resort that he was like groundbreaking out of like Colorado for people that were having issues with like tuberculosis and other types of things. Yeah, and he was like essentially dosing them with like poisonous chemicals.
Yeah, right.
Microdosing at its worst.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Sorry, I got locked in on the radioactive stuff. Yeah, it's like
Switchback.
Yeah.
Hauntings.
Switchback. Haunting.
Hauntings.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I think hot springs. Like, yeah, hot springs are generally known as like restorative. I want to say, like,
they credited them with
cleansing. That sort of stuff, right? Like
they credited them with like helping rheumatoid arthritis, things like that, which makes sense.
I mean, if you're feeling under the weather and you go take like a hot shower, like really steam it up. I mean, think about like it's not a neti pot or whatever, right? Where it's like steam.
A sauna.
Well, saunas are the same way.
Steam room.
But I'm saying like, yeah, it's like, have you ever been told to like boil some water and just put your face over
like
it?
Like a vaporizer or nebulizer or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the vaporizer I've been using. I took it away, but I've been using it for a while.
Okay.
That big Vicks one in our room.
Oh.
Because I am like constantly sick. Yeah.
So you thought using it was making you sick?
No, when I would start to feel worse, I would use it.
Okay.
But I had to like put it on top of my nightstand, and I couldn't have my alarm clock up there, and I didn't like it. So and we can't put it anywhere else because we have a nosy
try
little
to knock it over. Yeah.
Snag. No, she's not a snag.
She's nosy.
She's just a baby.
Turns 1 this week.
Oh yeah, she does.
Thursday's
That's
her
right.
first birthday.
Yeah, our little Winifred's gonna be 1 year old.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it too.
She better fucking change her attitude real quick.
No, she's fine.
You're 1 now. Be a man.
She's a girl. I was thinking too, like
act your age.
I had thought about it. I was like, I know her birthday's coming up before the end of April.
Yeah.
And then I was like, God, we've had Jax 2 years in August.
Yeah.
Which August will be here before we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
yeah. I have other thoughts. So Dr. Phi sounded like a quack.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me that like 1930s that you had some bad times around then.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was on hot springs. Hot springs, restorative, yes, all that stuff. So yeah, the volcanic, it's usually tied to like geothermal is definitely tied to like volcanic, not necessarily volcanic activity, but right, it's like you're basically heating from like
the crust of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like so.
Core crust.
Yeah. So it's like you've got something, Yeah, it's kind of crazy that it was like half hotel, half like sanitarium.
I thought that was so weird
like,
too.
It's
like
so weird. Like it's like this place is so great. I don't care that there's like patients. Like it's either go with one or the other. Maybe it's like
I feel like it was
family members.
So from what I saw, it sounds like they were trying to be like a little town. right? They had everything
Yeah.
that you needed in this hotel /
Yeah.
hospital /
Right.
like barber shop, post office, yada yada yada.
Yeah, so yeah, you're saying it sounded like they were trying to be self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you have a post office, like nowadays, like you have to.
Apply for like township and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's like back then, maybe not so much.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
kind of played fast and loose with the.
Where you could
Yeah.
go.
They played fast and loose with a lot of things back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like if it was built in like the 1860s, right? Like, I mean, when did Oregon become a state?
I have no idea.
Right? Like, I would assume the western states were some of the last states to become states. Could be wrong.
I don't know.
I mean,
You could be right.
I think the gold rush was like 49. That's why
Sure.
they call them 49ers.
Sure.
Because I think it was like 1849 was like the gold rush, I think.
Sounds right.
You should have more faith in me. We should party. Whatever's that doll you watch on TikTok.
Girl like me. Jasper the doll.
Jasper the doll.
If you guys are not on Jasper TikTok, you are on the wrong side of TikTok. Okay.
Your coworkers looked at you so harshly. They judged you when you showed them Jasper.
My one coworker's like,
TikTok.
I'm genuinely worried about your mental health right now. And I'm like, you don't get it.
So funny.
You guys, literally, if you have not looked it up and you're listening to this, please do yourself a favor and look up Jasper the doll. It is the weirdest fucking shit ever, and I love it so much.
Yeah, we won't ruin the jokes like we did with Silicon Valley.
No. But I'm just, she has a smoker's cough. She has like a smoker's cough.
Yeah.
I can't even do it, but
Yeah.
it's hilarious. Yeah. And she's doing remixes now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm.
There's one where she's like, never find a girl like me. So funny.
My guts gurgled that thought.
Your guts or your groin.
My guts. My guts.
All right. Any last thoughts
Any
before
last
we wrap
thoughts?
this up?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Don't force it. It's like a fart. If you have to force it, it's shit.
I'm just trying to make sure. Like, I think I chimed in with the like funny little anecdotes when we were talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the more serious like analysis. So, you talked about energy of water and limestone. You're already talking about a geothermal area that has a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like heat is energy, basically. Like,
Coming up from the Earth's crust, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one. That was one of the notes I was gonna make. Was
Okay.
like, was there any talk about like usually with like volcano activity, stuff like that? It's like usually there's hell imagery, right? So like
Yeah, like fire,
screams,
brimstone.
fire, brimstone,
Yeah.
yes, such that like screams, torture sounds. You know what I mean? It's like
Maybe
playing
the-
up the like. Ooh, you're close to hell. you
Maybe
know
it's
what I
like a
mean?
portal to hell and we just don't know it.
Right.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bible talks about weeping and gnashing of teeth as like their description of hell in the New Testament. So,
I do that on like a weekly basis. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'll cut that. Not the sigh though. That was good.
yeah.
This
But
fucking
I was just saying,
lady.
right? It's like, yeah, it's like they'll be thrown in the lake of fire and there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? Or like cast out into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's like the imagery of the New Testament, you know.
I didn't know that.
The more you know.
And the more you know.
But yeah.
Making a video. Now I'm gonna go look up Jasper Talk.
But yeah, so that reminded me, yeah, the hell imagery, the heat, the fire, brimstone.
Fair.
The 1930s, bad things happening, Dust Bowl, right? Like, makes sense. Yeah, brick and wood, little piggies were right.
You know, there's
The brick survived.
There's a super fun casino game that I've played before. That's like the three little. It's like the wolf and the pigs.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw it that one time
I
I was
played
playing
it.
it.
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah. It's on my
Yeah.
TikTok now because I apparently one night when I was
Doom scrolling.
not doom
Just
scrolling,
scrolling or
I
what?
was scrolling and I had a cocktail, and so all of my TikTok, I got like super sucked into like these people that make like $250 casino bets on the slot machines,
Uh,
like $250 a bet,
a bet.
a
Yeah.
spin.
Yeah.
That's like more than I want to take out to gamble with the entire time I'm there.
So that's like a jackpot. That's like a mini jackpot on your penny slots.
So on my bachelorette party, so my thing was like, we've done Portland, we've done Seattle, we've done like strippers, all of that for other people's
Yeah.
we did Vegas for a bachelorette party. I was like, I literally just want to get like a cute little house to like hang out with that has a hot tub so we can drink and like
Yeah.
go to the casino one night, right? That was all I wanted.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I didn't know what I was doing because I had played a game. The only game that was open was this like fireball game. And I was like, I mean, I guess I'll try it. Like, put a couple spins in it. It was like my second spin, and I won like $374. I'm like, we gotta go! Like, I fucking won! Let's go! And of course, I was like, look at that guy's drinks! Like, I just won so much fucking money! Like, this is crazy! And they're like, no! You're a bachelorette! You can't pay for drinks! I'm like, fuck you guys! I want to! I just want all this money! Like, I was just like,
Riding that high.
I was riding that high. And I had also kicked ass in bowling, too, earlier that day,
yeah.
so... Or the day before. I think it was
Yeah.
the day before we went bowling. But
Y'all couldn't hear that hair flip or whatever you're doing right now. Yeah.
yeah.
I kicked out the bowling.
And by kicked ass in bowling, I mean I think I broke 100.
Breaking 100, nobody else does, is kicking ass in bowling.
Yeah.
So, let's be fair.
Yeah.
You got to get at least a couple strikes and spares to break 100.
True. Well, with that,
No, I still had thoughts. Oh,
go!
I'm trying to remember them all. So yeah, Hellfire, hot springs are cool. Which is funny because I'm not the biggest hot tubs. Like hot tubs are sometimes too hot for me,
Yeah.
right? Like I have to really ease into them
Yeah.
because in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
hot tubs are like a, I don't know, like a thing for people to go do, or hot springs.
Manga
Go
or
to hot
hentai.
springs. Well, both, but
Yeah.
like regular manga
Mm-hmm.
that the average kid watches, they'll like have
do they
episodes where
burn
they
up
go
in
to
them?
fillers. They don't burn up in them. No, it's like a place to go to rest, relax, rest and relax. Like boy side, girl side. There's usually a little etchy in there. That's the name for like perverted type stuff, right? Like
Okay.
so there's always the boy trying to look over on the girl's side.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be you.
I like boobies.
You do like boobies.
That's a good for role models. I like boobies. What do you like?
But that also could apply to you.
Yeah. Yep. So hot springs remind me of that. Like Japanese comics. They have hot springs. There's like, I can't remember if it's is it Europe that has like the monkeys? Or is it Japan that has like the monkeys? Like you're basically like in a hot spring, but it's like frozen everywhere else, and there's like monkeys. It might be like Iceland doesn't seem like they have monkeys, but like I've heard of hot springs in like Iceland and stuff like that. There's some places that we should check out.
I'm down. I don't want to get eaten by a monkey though.
I don't think they eat people.
I don't want a monkey to slap my titty.
They might do that.
You would
So
do
we'll go to a place with a next hot spring I'm at. Ah, ah, ah.
I'll off and smack my titty.
Yeah.
What a fucked up show we had today.
Yeah, we were definitely on one today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I feel like there's always some crazy doctor with all these places. Like are people just the worst?
Some
Like-
people are. But some people are also the best. So it
Yeah.
balances out.
Okay.
But yes, there are some people that are absolute monsters.
Yeah. So part of it. So you got the guy who's like an absolute monster, And
Now,
then you
and
also,
again, I do want to point out, I don't know. Like, there are just rumors that he was, like, experimenting on patients and things like that. That's not verified. So he might have genuinely been a nice doctor, but from the sounds of it, I don't know if he was the most stand-up guy.
right, yeah. So then it's like, so you have this guy, you create some rumors, and then similarly, you got like the pieces of shit that are like trying to cash in
Yep.
on it. Like, you know, like if like legit go, if this place has this much like
Potential.
ambiance or potential,
Mm-hmm.
you would figure like a big ghost hunter type. Any of them would have gone to this place and
Yeah, and I didn't
filmed
see
or
any.
recorded or
I saw people write articles that were like amateur ghost hunters, or like
yeah.
it would be like me writing an article about going to see it because I was interested in it. But I didn't
Yeah.
really see. Now there could be something out there that I just missed. That's not
Yeah.
outside. You know, that could be possible. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. I think that's it for my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
as always, thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and download our show, as well as leaving us a 5-star rating or review on whatever platform you're listening on. All these help us become more visible to more people and helps us grow the show. Also, you can help us out by sharing us with your friends, family, on your social media, all of the things. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're not already, check us out, like us, follow our pages to stay up to date on fun stuff that may be happening. And you can also check out our website, which is creepycascadiapod.com. Or you can send us an email to admin@creepycascadiapod.com if you have a recommendation for some show topics, if there's something you want us to cover, if you have your own story of an experience with like a ghost or a haunting or a true crime, serial killer. If you've seen Sasquatch, I want to hear about it. But other than that, we hope you enjoyed this very off topic, lots of side note shows today. And lots of side notes today show.
It's late April.
Yeah.
We haven't had a holiday in a while. I mean, we took some vacation, but like we haven't had a day off of work, like paid
Yeah.
in a while. Like Memorial Day's still like over a month away.
Yeah.
I don't blame us for having a very
You know,
back
and
forth,
I feel like if you're
wall to
listening to
wall.
this show, you probably like the fact that we're just weirdos. So enjoy.
Yeah.
But anyways, we will be back next week with a brand new episode for you guys for your listening pleasure. Bye.
Bye.